I've been meaning to make this YouTube video for a while, so I may as well begin. It's something that I have put off for a long time. Started other projects, I've completed other projects, but really I wanted to be able to do this, and that is do something in video form that would teach me both video editing and just some motion graphic stuff, and just generally document the work that I'm doing for both my business, David Irwin Design, and just general life stuff, you know, the kind of work vlogs, studio vlogs, I guess, if that's the way to put it. Right now we're in my kitchen. My actual studio or office space is actually in my house, or my apartment I should say. It's not really a house. So that's what today's going to be. I'm going to document the last project that I did and show you what that was. And it was basically a series of posters that I did. The goal was to get a poster done every day and one a day for 30 days. So I'll be showing some of those, not the whole thing. The project can be seen on Behance. I think I put 27 of them up. I did get 30 done, but I think I only posted 27 of them because some of the files got corrupted. Just general things happened and I couldn't post all 30. So that's what I'll be showing over the course of this video. We're gonna move this into my office, into the home office, and I'll show you that as well. Cool. So we are back in the studio, office studio, whatever, studio, office studio. So I wanted this video to showcase the 30-day poster challenge that I just did, which means that I'm going to be showing off some of that work in this video. So the first one is here. It's the first one that I did, and it was for the idea behind it was like a student poster. I figured I'm doing a poster challenge. It's a way to learn posters. The first thing I should do is probably a student poster. So it was for the almost like a student exhibition, and I figured I would do it highlighting the poster itself, highlighting a student. And then the concept behind this one was that the idea of, they say that like every block of marble, like a sculptor, the statue exists in the block of marble, and it's just a matter of the sculptor bringing that block out. Well, in that case, the actual sculpture exists in the artist's mind, and since it exists in the artist's mind and their soul and things like that, so I had the eyes of this particular student removed and then replaced with like a marble, which was a way to see both inside the student to show that it was artsy, and it also allowed me to show that it was about, you know, fine art as well as design, things like that. I set it in U of T because I'm in Toronto, and put it in the AGO because that's where you put these things. So that's all there. The second poster is it's not something I'm super happy with, but because I cut off the arm, mostly because I didn't have time to go around and cut each finger out, and the girl's finger, at least for this particular poster, had some haloing, and I just didn't have time, and I didn't particularly know at the time how to defringe that. So I cut off that arm and I had it wrap around the sign that has the 5K details on it. And the way I came up with this was I walk by a poster every day. In fact, I'll put a picture of it here or somewhere here, and it shows just the Eglinton Way, what it's going to be called. It's just a poster for Eglinton, things like that. So I wanted to do something that could possibly go in place of that, but also showcase some of the businesses that happen on Eglinton, which are still open, but are currently, they're probably seeing a lower business like customer base due to the construction, and this was just a construction that's going on because of the metro links. So this was just a way to highlight that. Shows sponsored by some individual companies down there, just because they're the types of things that would be used for this type of fun run. The third one is a poster that is utilizing tutorial that I saw on tutvid.com, or YouTube for Tutvid, Nathaniel Dodson, and the actual tutorial is for something that I used twice. The first one is for it's for the background in this particular instance, and it's just the orange gradient that you see there. It's a very slight gradient, but it was something that they used, and I can link that in the description as well. This was mostly just a horror themed. I wanted something that was horror themed, but also, you know, Toronto, TIFF, it's known for its cinema. I decided to make this one, and I just wanted to use that orange gradient. All of these assets that I use are brought from unsplash.com. This particular skull here is actually from the top of a car, or like a gear stick on a car. So item 4 is it was a very simple concept, and it was just basically I saw this picture of a shark. I wanted to use that shark in some capacity, so I decided to create a Discovery Channel poster for like a show called The Deep. It also allowed me to use this cool filter, this almost staticky water filter on the text, which I thought came out pretty well. It's actually, this is one of my favorite posters, just because of the simplicity of it. It has a gradient on the water, and there's that filtery mess that I've seen from a YouTube tutorial. So I think it looks good. It probably would go on like a Shark Week thing. Maybe I could have made it Shark Week, but I prefer The Deep as a name. That's it. The next one is horror themed again. I just took a picture of an old-timey lady, black and whited it, made her eyes red. The idea behind this was just, you know, that Colin Kaepernick poster that's everywhere, and they made him the face of Nike. It was just that, horror themed. I just wanted like add to that series of memes almost. I think it turned out well. I didn't really have to do much to her. She's not creepy in the original picture, but this one is, you know, it's creepier, I guess. The red eyes really help, and I was able to use a tutorial from YouTube to show me different ways of doing that, and it's basically just boosting the red on the red spectrum and making it appear through, so you can still see the reflections in her eyes and everything. In fact, some of the hair probably came down and became a bit red, but that's okay as well. It looks good. The Thanksgiving came up, so I figured, you know, it's autumn, people are going out on hikes before the snow comes down. The snow is actually falling already, and it's becoming quite, like, winter came quite early as opposed to last year, when it didn't drop until maybe like late September is when we first got our large dump of snow, but it's already snowing. So at least here in Toronto, that is. So I thought I'd come up with something Canadian and something Thanksgiving-y, and the idea was like Parks Canada saying Happy Thanksgiving, and come out and see all of the, you know, come for a hike, come out and see the leaves that are falling. So I just took pictures of maples, people holding them up, and I thought, well, that would be a good concept. The fourth one is, so the idea for this was actually came from, you know, the Saved by the Bell theme, like the when I wake up in the morning, that, okay, so that has a lot of like assets flashing on the screen and weird boxes and squiggly lines and stuff, so I wanted something for that, and I couldn't come up with anything that day, so I figured, okay, today's Tuesday, why don't I look up historical names for Tuesday, and this Tweesdag, or whatever, Tweesdag, I can't pronounce it, I'm not going to I did just try. But anyway, I wanted something like that, and then the words all tumbling together. So I just threw this together. Couldn't really come up with anything that day. So this is the concept that I came up with. And, I don't hate it, but it's definitely not one of the better ones that I did. But, it's a poster. It says Tuesday. I could hang it on my wall, I guess. The next one, I should say, is actually, it's a personal. So I was working on this thing all day, a poster all day, and I had maybe about an hour and a half's work left to go. And I was listening to some podcasts. Look up Twitter. And I see that the campaign podcast has ended. This is a Star Wars podcast that I watch a lot, listen to a lot. And I kind of fell by the wayside when I started this company. So I hadn't really listened to it in about a year. And this is an important podcast to me because it opened up my eyes and my ears to other gaming systems. And there's one thing that I love, it's RPG, like tabletop RPG gaming. So I created this poster. It's got a skip ray blaster in it. It's hanging on the Binoc sign. Like, I just wanted to do something that kind of said goodbye and thank you for the stories to the DM for that, and the editor, Cat Cool. It was something that I really like, and I like this poster. I used the is it Travian, and I just recreated the original, not the original, but the first 3 Star Wars. So I wanted that idea because this is set before A New Hope. So I wanted that font to tie in with that transitionary period. They started this campaign before they released Rogue One. So it was still, the whole idea behind it was that this was a lead up to giving the first Death Star. They have the characters in the podcast have a Death Star plans or whatever. So it was just a way to do that. And the Binoc, #Binoc is something that that was linked to the final episode of the series. So yeah. The next day, I honestly could not think of anything. So it was Thursday. I figured, okay, what's happening on Thursday next month? Thanksgiving just happened. Okay, the US is, Star Wars on my mind. Stay on target. Target poster. There you go. Midnight, Friday, November 23rd. After Thanksgiving, Black Friday. That's what this concept was. Different colors just because I like this red, but there you go. It's a poster that you would hang up outside a Target, I guess. The next one is actually something that I do like, and it's I was listening to the campaign podcast from the start again, and so this is the both the Jedi code and the Sith code, I guess, but I can't remember what the term is for the Sith. And so I downloaded a Star Wars font and I threw the two of them together. This is the kind of poster that you would put on a nerd's wall when they're about 14, the first time they watch Star Wars, or maybe it's a little girl now because Star Wars is much bigger with little kids now. So it's that kind of thing. It's a poster that you would hang up on the wall for a kid, and it's a yin yang, and you've got your Jedi, the Jedi symbol on it one, and you've got the Sith symbol on the other, and it's just the juxtaposition between them, as well as the there is no emotion, there is peace, and peace is a lie, there is only passion. So I do actually like this poster. It's probably something that I would hang up on my wall, which is good. The next one is, again, it's an asset that I took from unsplash.com. And this actual, I took almost a layout for this from something that I seen on Google, I think. I designed the Asana logo, the actual logo itself as well, which I like. It's kind of mountainy and I like the angles. And it was just the idea was that I wanted to use that logo somewhere. So the next is an anime kind of poster, and I was watching a lot. So I have a podcast with my friend Kaz, and this was really just a poster that I could tie all that into. And Anime North was there, so it's kind of self-evident, right? You've got Deku on the front, and he is running away from Toronto to go to Anime North. And these are all of the Boku no Hero Academia events that would happen there at the convention. These are not. I don't go to Anime North, but if I was to do something Boku no Hero, that's where you would go to view all the Boku no Hero Academia stuff, and that's the idea behind it. The next one is very simple. Imagine the Asana yoga stop had a fall sale, I should say, and that's what it is. And I took the assets that I had. So the whole idea for this actual poster was, I have some assets that I've already downloaded. What else can I do with them? Can I come up with something commercial, something that's saying sales? And so I did. This actually turned out quite well. I do like it. I just took the leaves again and I folded them into some sort of border, and then I put the sale details there. So that's what it is. It's a fairly simple concept. This is one that I'll actually revisit again. And the idea behind this was I was on unsplash.com gathering assets, and I seen a sign that said ice cream solves everything in neon. So I figured, okay, how would we use that in some sort of poster? So I thought, well, I could create a new sign that basically says, Claire's Creamery, it's opening soon, ice cream solves everything, etc. So I just took those assets and I created this here, and I think it looks well. Definitely needs to be revisited and worked again, but yeah, like here it is, Claire's Creamery. The next one is using that Tutvid thing again. I was kind of lost. I didn't really know what to do, so I figured the new Pixel had just come out and I'd watched the Google event, so why not just show the Pixel 3 vivid color, just throw some, make it almost look like a poster of a phone screen, that color in the background, and it would move, or I don't know, something like that. So that was the idea behind this one. This one here, definitely something that I'm going to revisit. It's the whole idea behind this was like a storm in a teacup, but instead of like a storm in a teacup making a hullabaloo about something, a hullabaloo that doesn't mean anything, you would say that this coffee, Bofu Kohi, is more than a storm in a teacup. It's definitely there's some meat to it. So I did that, and the farmers market at UCU is apparently where they have the Japanese coffee, like a international Japanese coffee event. So I came up with the logo here, as well as coming up with the whole idea behind this campaign. It would be something like you'd have the poster on your on the front cover of, not front cover, but the front of your stall or something at this event, this Japanese coffee event. National Recycling Day. I was staring at a recycling paper when I came up with this, and I just wanted to do something that had a little bit of a simpler theme. That's it. This is actually one of my favorite ones. It's Beware the Ides of March. I love Julius Caesar, the play, so I took 23. I got this picture of a handprint from Unsplash, and I upped it, the red value on it, and I darkened it, and I cut out the actual handprint itself, and I printed on this kind of bloody red background 23 handprints, which represents the stab wounds that Julius Caesar gets. And I threw on the Ides of March and said that it was basically a play at the Mirvish Theatre. So that's that's what this is. I actually really like this, and this is one that I'll probably hang up on my wall. I'll print out and hang up. Probably need some work because the bleed is like the Beware the Ides of March is too close to the edge, so I want that to, you know, bring that down a little bit, maybe center it. But definitely something that I like. I do like this one. I think it's fairly succinct and fairly easy to understand, and I like the 23 handprints. I think that was a nice touch. The next one is totally concept, and it's just I wanted to do something from a tutvid.com again. I wanted to kind of use this jumping out of a TV. It becomes real. It looks so good that it's real, and yeah, that's what this is. So there are a couple of the ones that I've done. That's the 30-day poster challenge and some of the stuff that I've done. If I ever do, and I will probably go back and do like the Ides of March one, retouch that one. The coffee one, I'm going to retouch that. And then the ice cream solves everything. I'll definitely do them again and make them portfolio pieces. But as for this challenge, it widened my view on what Photoshop can do, and also just how quick and easy and some of the actions that are available in Photoshop. Sort of that was the whole goal. I wanted to know how good Photoshop. I wanted to learn Photoshop a little bit better because I'm more of an Adobe Illustrator guy. So this totally taught me a little bit more about Photoshop, and I'm really happy with that. So yeah, that's the project that I just did. Maybe next time I'll show you a couple of other projects that I'm doing, and if there's any questions or you want to see anything, you can look this up on Behance. I'll put the description in the doobly-doo. You can find me at _Dave Irwin on Twitter, or just, you know, comment or email david@davidirwindesign.com. And yeah, that's it. That's the project. This is the video that I've been putting off for a long time. So yeah, cheers. Have a good day.